Hello and welcome to how I play my level 120 wizard. So we're going to get right into this here. We're going to talk about spells. We're going to talk about my multi-bind, how my hotbars are set up, how my extended target's set up, and how I play this character. Alright, so the first thing we need to talk about is the synergy, I think. This is kind of important because it helps with the group, and I don't think I stressed this enough in the previous videos, right? Alright, so whenever we cast a vortex spell, so Shadow Bright Vortex is our current vortex spell, it will have a 100% chance to trigger Evoker Synergy, which gives everybody in the group that casts a non-fire direct damage and 90% extra damage to their nuke, right? So keep that in mind, and that's kind of why we do certain things the certain way we do it. Alright, so the first spell we have is Twin Cast. So Twin Cast is the ability to cast the same spell twice. So it'll be like, you know, one day nuke, and then there's a second chance to cast it afterwards, right? Like, we're not going to cast it. Let's just do Shadow Bright here. You can see here it Twin Cast, so, or Strike Vice, whatever that was. I believe that's the weapon here. Yeah, the weapon Twin Cast, you can see it cast twice. Perfect. All right, so we got that. That's, you know, it's a short duration buff, 18 seconds. We do that on pretty much cooldown. Make sure we always get extra damage. Now, I cast Shade Bright Vortex here. This is our current Vortex spell. This is our Synergy spell. And you can see here we did get Evoker's Synergy right here. So when we cast a non-fire spell, we will invoke that, right? So a non-fire spell, let's do with Keldeja here. Boom, we consumed that. Now, we also have Conjurer's Synergy on us. This is from my mage. Does the same thing, but for mage, from a mage, right? So if we cast Ethereal Ignition, boom, consumes that. You can see all the extra damage here that we got from that. Those are very important to our damage and very important to the group's damage. So keep those in mind. Shadow Vortex here doing 49,000 damage. And triggering that spell for everybody in the group. There you go. And then it also makes them weaker to other direct damage spells, increasing everybody else's damage even more by, what is that, 65 to 125, 20% more damage for 24 spells. So that is a significant spell to cast on cooldown. And in our multi-bind, it is the first spell we cast. Next up, I have Thrice Woven Lunacy. This is a 50,000 magic nuke, 25% chance to increase our future spells. Now, this is in my multi-bind. It's not number 2, though, so keep that in mind when we get there. Next up, we have Teladaja. This is a stun, so this is a 20,000 point stun. I just have it here because it is near instant cast, and the way I play, I focus on casting spells as fast as I can. Mobs do not live long enough in most cases for me to be like, oh, I'm going to cast a 4-second spell and maybe it won't be alive by the time I'm done casting, right? So there's a lot of things I do that are very specific to the way I play, right? So here you can see this is a 4-second spell, but it gets reduced down to 2 seconds, doing 88,000 damage. This is Ethereal Ignition. Cast that here. Boom, 415,000 twin cast to there's a 1 million damage critical on that, so it's insane amount of damage to make sure we get out there when we can. Next up we have Diablo's Fire, which is another 50,000 nuke. Just it's a pretty quick cast. I try to go for anything that's under 3 seconds, with instant being a priority that I like, right? So it's another one here. This one, a lucky critical, 680,000, and then we got another critical from all our other abilities there. Then we have Chaos Whirl, which evokes a magical flame strike on your target, dealing between 15 and 42,000. So it's got a huge range on it, but it's a 0.6 second cast time, so who cares? 196,000 damage. Then we have Elliptical Fire, which is our progressive ability that we get at 116 from the Night of Shadows. expansion, Luckland 2.0, if you will. And this one is a 1 minute reuse, but it's a big nuke, right? So 1 minute reuse. Let's see here, where is that at? Elliptic fire, 1.4 million, lucky critical. So very nice. I think that's 1.4 million. Yeah, 1.4 million. Then we have Chill Blast. So Chill Blast is an ice-based nuke, because we'll talk about that here in a second. But it also does 32,000 damage, instant cast, and it does some extra stuff there, but deals more damage, right? Now, why would I want to do that, right? If we go over here to my Beast Lord and we go to hers, right? She has Primalist Synergy. So whenever she does her thing, increases the damage to melee. Oh, never mind, that's the wrong one. One of these, I forgot. One of my other characters has a focus for ice nukes, and that's it. All right, so then we have Scales of the Crystal Wing here. This is a rune that also gives us mana regen. I just cast this on cooldown. I kind of really ran out of things to put in these last few slots, so they're just really utility, these last four. Then we have Shadow Harvest, which just restores our mana, 41,000. I used to do the Gambit line of spells, which is it's like if you cast a certain amount of times, a certain amount of seconds, you get the mana back. I didn't really like the gameplay of that, so I switched back to the Harvest line, just because it makes it easier for me to focus with that. Then we have the Knowledge Portal here. Just takes me back to Plane of Knowledge, and Shadow Valley, that's where I was hunting last, so that's kind of like my teleports there. Now my multi-bind order is Concussion, so this lowers our aggro, significantly reflects damage back. It does a whole bunch of stuff. It's really nice, and it also increases our or decreases the hatred on our next 3 spells, so nice there. Then we got Vortex, Chill Blast, Twin Cast, Elliptic Fire, Ignition, Teledaja, Thrice Woven Lunacy, Chaos Whirl, and Dablo's Fire. And then we get some AA clickies here. These are Force of Ice, which is a 28,000 ice, Force of Will, which is a 28,000 magic, Force of Flame, which is a 28,000 fire, and then we have Call of Zuzel, which is our little pet. Summons 2 swords to attack the pet. Now it's 2 extra attacks that we can add to the fight. Pets that benefit the mage, so it's kind of nice there. We just cast it right back here. You can see they're thwacking away. It's 2 like fiery Avengers. Pretty nice, right? Now, with that said, the character is totally multi-bind, a multi-bind, 1 button kind of character, right? So if we go here to my hotbar 6, you can see every button on my hotbar is bound to 5 and 6. So if I push, all right, 4 and 5, I mean, I'm sorry, 6 is something else. If I hit 4 and only 4, you can see what I'm doing now, right? This is everything I'm doing. I'm only pushing 4. That's all I'm doing. It's going to go through all those spells we just talked about and pretty much do everything that it can possibly do to maximize that damage. I've tweaked and tweaked and tweaked this order a lot, and this feels like the best order for me. The way I play, I want the fastest cast times I can get. I want to be able to do as much damage as I can in a short amount of time for that burst, because I'm playing 6 characters, and mobs just don't last long enough. Some of them do, like a named mob is going to last longer, and you know that's a non-standard thing. But the standard mobs I'm fighting, like in Lorien Song, they're dying pretty quick, and so casting the longer cast time spells, while they do a lot of damage, it just doesn't feel like it's worth it, because he's casting and then it dies mid-cast, right? This is just pumping all that damage out as fast as possible, and all my characters do that. So I'm burning down every single mob as fast as possible when we're doing that. You see there's a 1.5 million there. You know, look at all these damage right here, lucky criticals. It's just so much damage coming out, right? And you can see his mana is absolutely getting sucked away. So, there's that. Now let's go ahead and stop casting that. So our burn cycle is pretty simple. Silent Casting, Frenzied Devastation, Fury of the Gods, Ward of Destruction, Spire of Arcanium. It's the same one I've been talking about the whole time we've made this character. Then we go into Forceful Rejuvenation, we click the Robe, Arcane Fury, Arcane Destruction, Improved Twin Cast again. That's getting all those burns active. That's all the buffs we can possibly do, and it just goes into absolute crazy town damage and mana drain. Like, here, let's do Shadow Harvest real quick. And then we'll do Druzzle's Harvest. And then we'll activate it and we'll kind of see. I'm not going to show the damage. You'll see the damage in the group video and see who is the winner of all that. But I'll just kind of show you can see what happens when I turn on burns with this guy here. Alright, let's do this. Let's turn on our feather. Let's do burn 1. Let's click it again just to make sure we got all those. Click burn 2. And then you can, let's show a mana burn real quick. 10 million damage. Right? Alright, now we're going to start nuking all our nukes, right? All this damage is our burn damage. This should be, you know, we'll say 18 to 30 seconds of what we can do. 1.96 million, 2.1 million, 2.5 million, 2.9 million. Or no, that's 290,000. 987,000, 2.7 million. It's so hard to read these numbers. 1.4 million, 2.3 million. You can see we're getting huge hits. And when we activate this during, you know, a boss fight or something like that, mobs are just, it's, you can see the health drop down. You can see I'm here. I'm taking the health off this combat dummy, right? He's it's insane, right? Like, it's absolute crazy the amount of damage I can push out when I need to push it out. You can just see these huge hits constantly, and this goes on for a little bit, you know, a little bit of time, but I think that's a good chance. That's a whole minute right there. 1.9 million elliptic fire. Another million there. 2.4 million there. It's definitely just sheer amount of damage that we can push out. So, gear wise, I'm not wearing good gear. I am wearing COV tier 3 gear. I'm going to upgrade to the Lorien Song tier 1 gear as soon as I find the character that I sent all my armor to. I haven't found him yet, but that is, you know, that is going to be kind of where we want to go. Tier 1 gear, it's significantly better than this. I think it's like 2,400, 2,500 hit points a piece for the Lorien Song gear per slot. Plus all the focus effects get upgraded too. But definitely the wizard is starting to really show his damage. At this point, they've changed and upgraded the wizard several times since I made him to really increase the damage. So I'm happy with where he's going. In the next video, we're going to take everybody. We're going to go to a Lorien Song zone. I haven't decided which one yet. And we're just going to kill stuff, look at the parses, and go through that and see kind of, you know, where we are with the characters, and see who's #1 DPS, you know, see how much tanking we can take and all that stuff. So we're gonna see that very soon. Then we'll do all the parsing in that video. I don't feel combat dummies are valid parsing. As you see, it looks like a lot of damage, right? But in actuality, there's a lot of other factors that would not make my damage be what we just saw, right? Like, that's why I typically don't do the parsing on the combat dummies, because it's not realistic, right? Like, I see these, you know, I've seen videos when I used to play WoW, you know, people doing damage on combat dummies, and I'm like, that's not realistic damage, because in a fight, you're moving around a lot more than that, and you're not able to just sit there and fucking hit 3 buttons, right? So I have a different opinion than a lot of people, but hopefully that's what you guys really feel in the long run. But if you like the video, subscribe. If you want to see more content with the wizard, let me know, and I can see what I can do there. But that's that. Thank you very much for watching, and please have a fantastic day.